After all, the men's castle fell before the orcs' horde of destruction, and everyone was slain. The orcs' horde made camp in the sacred forest, waiting for orders from Queen Morvaria. They were restless, hungry for blood.
My son, well done conquering Elarion, but I need you to go to war again. Send your wolves of war to burn the villages and gather the villagers to work in my mines. Then march east to Blumenhain Mountain and crush the dwarf kingdom for me. Bring me every last piece of their gold. Now.
Scar, get over here, now. Yes, Master, I am here. Sound the horn. Prepare the troops. General, take your war dogs and go and pray. My mother needs a workforce. Once more, Morvaria sends her dark force to destroy life. This time, the kingdom of dwarfs, and all who stand to do her bidding. Her hatred knows no limits. A rumble of thunder rolls across distant peaks. Faint cries of war echo through the night. Assemble the Horde. It is about time we go and deal with those dirty dwarfs. To war. Send scouts into the port. Make sure they prepare the ships for us when we arrive, so they are ready. But the Horde is not yet complete, for its main core lies on the shores of the Dark Sea. Once they are reunited, an unstoppable force will rise, and all that is good shall witness the darkness. But some parts of Alarion still rest in peace. They have not yet met the darkness, and they prosper in love and joy, living without fear. Yet all of this is about to change. From the dark corners of the world, evil is rising, and nothing can stop it. A peaceful village is about to witness the hatred of Morvaria as her creatures move to fulfill her will, and her will is pure evil. As the darkness stares from the shadows, the light of good begins to fade. What can men do in the face of such hate? The villagers try to fight back, but they are no match. They cannot face the evil that has fallen upon them. After their victory, the armies of Morvaria took everyone able to work. They were dragged away to toil in the mines of the Dark Kingdom. Now, the Horde is complete. All strength and evil gather, preparing to march on the kingdom of dwarves, the last fortress in the mountains. It has never been conquered, but it has never faced such evil.
My children, gather the Horde, march upon the Dwarves' mountain, seize their minds, for I have need of them.
My lord, our queen has commanded. We shall march to Branduin Mountain, take the golden mines from the dwarves.
If my mother wills it, then so it shall be. God, sound the war horn. Ready the Horde. We march for Branduin. All the dark beasts that despise life and beauty now serve the Dark Queen. From the crawling horrors of the deep caverns to the winged fiends that haunt the skies, All bend their will to her. Everything foul and cruel, every creature that feeds on fear, follows her without question, without doubt. And with each passing night, her power grows as the light of the world slowly dies. Eleni has never faced such evil as now befalls it. A darkness born not from the shadows, but from one once sent by the Creator to protect them. She was meant to be their guardian, their light. But now she has turned against the Creator himself. Her heart, once radiant, is blackened by pride and vengeance. She has become his equal in power and his opposite in spirit. And as her dominion spreads, the light of life itself grows dimmer with each passing day, fading like a dying flame in the endless night. But deep within the Bramduin Mountains, our hero, Alexander, heir of Edorin, searches for the hidden entrance to the Dwarf Kingdom. Through mist and stone, he wanders the forgotten paths of legends, guided only by faith and the faint echo of destiny calling from the dark. Deep in the old mines of Bramduin, Alexander met Eric Strongleaf, Prince of the Dwarf Kingdom. It was Eric who showed him the secret way, the hidden passage that led into his realm, a path known only to the sons of stone and forged in the age before men. And so he entered the magnificent dwarf kingdom, a realm carved from the heart of the world itself, standing proud since the dawn of creation. The dwarves, masters of stone and flame, of gold and metal, their forges burned day and night, shaping wonders no mortal hand could match. They are fierce warriors, gruff in speech, yet loyal beyond measure, their hearts as solid as the mountains they call home. Though quick to anger, they laugh loud and drink louder, for none can rival their ale, brewed in deep halls where songs of old still echo through the smoke. They are the best of miners, the greatest of craftsmen, and perhaps the most stubborn of all folk who walk the earth. And there, amidst their roaring feasts and ringing anvils, Alexander beheld a kingdom both ancient and alive, a fortress of light standing bravely against the coming dark. Alexander knelt before Durin, mighty king of the dwarves, his head bowed in respect beneath the golden light of the throne hall. He asked for aid, for the strength of the dwarves to stand beside him and reclaim peace for Ilarion. But King Durin, wise and burdened by centuries of memory, spoke with a voice that echoed through the stone. He said that Alexander carried something that once belonged to his ancestors, a relic of power long thought lost to time. And with it, together with the might of the dwarven kingdom, they could rise once more and drive back the shadow. For the dwarves do not forget old debts, nor do they turn away from the call of destiny. This was the lost golden armor of Edarin, the first king of Ilarion. Forged in the Age of Heroes, it was said to shine with the light of the Creator himself. After Edarin's death, it was stolen and thought lost forever. But the dwarves, steadfast and secretive, recovered it in the dark years that followed. They guarded it in silence, deep beneath the mountains, keeping it safe from the eyes of men and monsters alike. For they knew that one day, the true heir of Ilarion would return, and only then would the golden armor rise again, to restore balance to the world. But far away, in the blackened halls of Morvaria's dark castle, a new shadow was stirring. Master Vulcan, once the greatest of wizards, now twisted by his hunger for power, had come before the Dark Queen herself. He bowed low, his voice a whisper like fire on cold stone, and promised her a weapon unlike any the world had ever seen. A creation born of gold, flame, and the black arts. A weapon that could unmake all life in Ilarion. But such power demanded much. Endless hands to dig and bleed in the depths. And so Morvaria gave him what he desired. Slaves torn from the conquered lands, forced to mine the gold that would feed his terrible design. In those shadowed forges, the sound of hammers was not of craft, but of doom being born. But Morvaria hungered for more. Her greed knew no end, and the cries of the dying only fed her will. So she sent forth her dark legions once again, shadow-born soldiers and beasts without mercy, to prey upon the villages and distant settlements that still clung to freedom. They came with fire and steel, sweeping through the night, leaving nothing but ashes and silence behind. For in Morvaria's eyes, there could be no peace, only dominion. The Horde has reached the Dwarf Kingdom shores, and now marches on Bramduin Fortress. Endless ranks sweep forward with one purpose, to snuff out life and light, and plunge every corner of the world into darkness. Nothing can stop them. Release the crawlers. Send them into the mountain steps. Let them sliver in shadow and break the dwarves from within.
But the dwarves saw them early, their keen eyes catching the shadow that crept across the horizon. They knew what was coming, the battle that would decide their very survival. There were only two paths before them: fight and die with honor, or live as slaves beneath the darkness. And the dwarves are a proud people. They chose to fight. Even if it meant their doom, they would face it with axe and hammer in hand, their hearts burning brighter than the forges that shape their steel.
Sharet, Shawanit, Kom, Skjamsu.
as hard as they fought. Alexander, Eric, and the brave dwarves beside them, they could not withstand the endless tide of evil. The horde poured forth without end, wave after wave of darkness crashing against the light. For every foe they struck down, two more rose in its place. The ground shook beneath the march of shadow, and the sky itself seemed to mourn their struggle. Yet still they stood, weary, wounded, but unbroken, defying despair even as the night closed in around them. Heavy with sorrow, yet carrying a spark of hope. The battle was lost, but not the war. The dwarves fought bravely, yet the darkness was too great, the horde too vast. Their walls fell, their halls burned, and the cries of their kin echoed through the mountains. But even in defeat, their spirit did not break. Those who survived fled into the deep tunnels and hidden paths, vowing to live, to fight another day. For as long as a single heart of stone still beats, the flame of resistance will never die. But there was still hope. Far to the west, in the silver forests of Elanthir, the elder elves gathered beneath the light of the ancient trees. They spoke of intervening, of breaking their long silence, for even they could feel the world trembling beneath Morvaria's shadow. And so, they offered a priceless gift, a relic long forgotten, hidden since the dawn of ages. A gift of pure light, powerful enough to turn the tide of war, but one that could only be wielded by the true heir of Edarin. For only he, with the heart of courage and the will of peace, could restore balance to Ilarion and bring dawn to the endless night. After mighty Bramduin fell to the Horde, the mountain of the dwarves became a tomb of fire and chains. There beneath the stone, the orcs drive the dwarves to toil without rest, tearing gold from the roots of the world. All for their queen, Morvaria, to feed the forging of her new machine, a weapon born of shadow and unholy craft.
craves gold without end. But for what purpose? What is she forging in those black pits of fire? Enough! Gather the Horde. It is time to march.
Across Ilarion, her hand stretches wide. Men are broken into labor, elves hunted from their woods, and the free peoples are shackled beneath her will. Few now remain who dare to rise against her. The age of light wanes, and a great darkness spreads across the realm. Ilarion trembles, for the world is falling into shadow.
Master Alexander, do not carry this burden alone. We will find the strength to endure, and together, we will win. It is time to go, Master Alexander. The hour is upon us.
Brother Eric, we have no other path. We must go through the Elves' woods. It is our last chance. The wizard spoke of this place. He said we would meet in that forest, and there, our path will be revealed.
I truly hope you are right, Master Alexander, because if not, all we have fought for may be lost.
Stop this madness! We are not enemies. We are brothers. Lay down your arms.
Master Wizard, I was expecting you.
I have come from the Elven Kingdom, and I do not come empty-handed. The elves have entrusted me with a gift, a token of hope for the battles ahead.
Who is she? And why have you brought her here?
I am Eleni, commander of the Forest Elf Garrison, sent to stand by your side.
She will be a great ally, my king.
So, you are the true heir of Edorin, the promised king of men. I must say, you don't look like much.
The elves entrust this to you, heir of Edorin, a gift of our people. May it shield you in battle and remind you that you do not stand alone.
An egg. Ha! How is an egg supposed to help us win a war? We need steel and soldiers, not birds' shells.
Silence. Do not frighten him with your doubt.
A dragon! I can't believe it!
They were supposed to be extinct, yet here lies proof the legends were true.
It seems he likes you.
Yes, I can see that.
I see it clearly now. A horde of orcs marching through the forest, driving north with fire and steel.
My village lies there. We must go. They need our help.
Then we shall go. We'll stand with them, and we will help.
The orcs have struck once more. Another settlement burned, its beauty lost to ash. They will not stop unless we make them stop. And darker still, in the land of Woken, their sorcerer forges a weapon for Queen Morvaria. A war machine unlike any the world has ever seen. A creation of such power that no force of men, elves or dwarves could withstand it. I fear the truth, my friends. If it rises, this world will be doomed. Now, Morvaria had forged her final army, creatures of evil born in golden blood, bound to her will alone. They felt no mercy, no fear, no doubt. Their hearts beat only for destruction. Their eyes burned with the fire of her hatred. And now, Ilarion is doomed. There is no army left to stand against her. No kingdom strong enough to resist the storm. Even the last realm of the elves, proud and radiant, cannot stand alone before such darkness. For the age of light is ending, and the shadow claims the world once more. But now, even her favored son had no purpose left. For Morvaria would share her power with no one, not even the blood of her own flesh, and he, proud and defiant, would not bow to become her slave. So in her deepest moment of darkness, she gave the order. The son who had followed her blindly, who had brought her victories and conquered in her name, was betrayed. The shadows that once obeyed his command turned upon him, and the darkness swallowed him whole. Thus fell the last spark of love in Morvaria's heart, and the world grew colder for it. Now she marches for the last free land, her army vast and without equal, a tide of darkness that blots out the sun. The ground trembles beneath her legions, and the sky itself seems to weep. But even now, there is hope. Across Ilarion, whispers spread of courage, of unity, of defiance. From ruined villages and fallen kingdoms, men and elves, dwarves and wanderers, all march toward the Eld Kingdom. There, they seek to rekindle the ancient coalition, the bond of the free peoples that once stood against evil in ages past. And though their numbers are few, their hearts burn brighter than ever before. For when all light seems lost, hope becomes the strongest weapon of all.